I'm Lisa Bauer.
And I'm Rodger Montgomery.
And you are watching Dirty Dog Live Music, and tonight we are at the historic Academy Theater in downtown Needville, Pennsylvania. The Academy Theater is 132 years old, and we are here tonight with the band NTR. And let me introduce to you Joe Galbo, and Joe will introduce the rest of the band.
My pleasure, Lisa. Right next to me is Chris Seeley, and this is Greg Arlo Adsit. Chris plays the piano and vocals, and Greg Arlo is on guitar, multiple instruments, banjo, and actually even Chris here is on recorder or whatever that is, mellotron.
And you, what do you play?
I just play bass.
Sure,
And cello a little bit, but not tonight.
You've also been very active in the theater here as well.
I've done a number of shows in this very theater. It's a beautiful place. Meadville's very lucky to have it, and lucky to have an organization like you folks coming in and promoting the local music scene.
Thank you so much. So, first question I have to know, what does NTR stand for?
Well, shall we tell, boys?
I suppose we've hidden it for long enough.
Yeah.
I think the time is right.
We should actually go right back to the origin story.
Well,
okay.
I don't think it's a 4 hour. I don't think it's a
well, no, but it's not really that long.
It's not. The thing about it is that Greg and I would play together, and we brought Chris in to play the tuba on the night they drove Old Dixie down. And then we found out he was a keyboard player, which he was trying to keep undercover because everybody in this town wants keyboard players at various times.
Right.
So we played around, various functions together, and so then it was decided that, well, we should have a name. And Greg was fancying a name off of the TV show South Park, which I immediately knew that even as small as we were and having no money at all, that those boys would have shoot us big time. So from that standpoint, at work where I work, there was a bulletin board, and there was a little poster on the bulletin board, and it had a picture of this very nice young lady on it, and it was for a beauty contest or something like that. And it had her smiling face, and she must have been last year's winner on it, and was encouraging all the young people to come and to try out for this show. And in big red letters under this smiling picture of this girl, it said, "No talent required." I thought, that's kind of an unfortunate juxtaposition. So NTR apparently was born. As no
That's an
talent
extremely
required.
interesting story. I'm glad I asked that.
I mean, it's something we don't reveal that, and you're our friend, so we're telling you. But, we don't really reveal that too often. That we usually let people kind of thrive in the mystery of that.
Right.
And
It's out there now, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Now the story's out.
The mystique is gone.
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh, so who writes most of the music for the band?
Actually, Greg writes most of the
Yeah.
music for the band.
Most of our original material is done by Greg. A lot of recent compositions, a lot of stuff he had written before we ever joined up with him, really. So we've got quite a good library of
Words
good
and music?
Words and music.
Words
the
and
whole,
music,
the whole
yeah.
kit and caboodle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the songs I'm going to do tonight, my daughter helped me out on. She's a music minor at Penn State right now.
Wow.
So.
And Sarah adds it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it actually has a bridge in it.
It's all correctly written and everything. It's great.
Yeah,
That's important.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of confuses
Even I know
us
what that
sometimes.
is.
Yeah.
So that's
Greg, how long have you been playing instruments?
For about 35, 36 years, I started playing guitar and kind of hacked around with that for a long time, and then decided I wanted to start playing a little banjo just for something different, and ended up, the banjo I have here tonight I made.
Oh,
And
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
it's a 4-string banjo. What I do, I use what they call a Chicago tuning, which is the same tuning as a tenor guitar, which basically is the 4 high strings on a guitar.
Right.
So I didn't have to learn new scales or chords or anything, but I got the banjo sound, and that's really what I was
That's the
after.
important thing, yeah.
And that, and just harmonica, and some of the, one of the other songs I'd like to do tonight was one that jumped out and wrote itself down. It was one of the early ones I wrote back, probably like 1988 or something like that, and it was one of those deals where I sat down, I was just kind of thinking about something, it's like, boom, there it was.
Yeah, that's the best one, when they come to you like that.
There's definitely the easiest ones to write. A couple of them I had to work on for a while. Some of them take a while, so.
So I was overhearing conversation, Chris, that you won the Jenny Carter
Yeah, I didn't think it was that.
Award?
I was
Jenny Carter.
That's a big
yeah,
deal.
Jenny,
I
that
heard
is a
that,
big
and
deal.
I had to ask
It's
you
a
about
big deal.
it.
If you
That's a
knew
big-
who
we
Jenny
just-
Carter
we
was in
found
our
out
area,
tonight.
she is a phenomenal.
Jenny
artist.
Carter was
Yeah,
phenomenal.
she
Yeah,
was.
I mean,
Right.
Yeah, it was a scholarship contest in her memory, and I competed in it for several years. A lot of really great local area musicians, and that's back when I was in high school. But and since then, my musical career kept me locally. I went to Allegheny College. I graduated as a musical and political science major there. I was a tuba major, but I decided, not a lot of blushing brides are looking for tubas at their weddings, and not a lot of call for that sort of thing. So I
No
worked at
Dixieland bands in Meadville, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, not a lot of Dixieland bands in
I
Meadville.
got to award the very first and only Cootie Harris Award too.
oh, no kidding.
Yes, there was an actual Cootie Harris Award one time, and we awarded it to a drummer, I believe, that played in the Matt Necessary band at one time.
Wonderful.
So.
No, I've
Yeah.
gigged with Cootie on many occasions.
Yeah.
There's no
Right,
better-
when you talk about Jenny Carter, you
Yeah.
talk about Cootie Harris.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're very blessed
Right.
to have had both
That's
of them.
right.
Yeah. And Floyd Williams, the guy that
Right.
Oh, yeah.
when I was in
Yeah.
high school,
Yeah.
Floyd,
Yeah, Floyd.
I learned, I was
really
16,
good, yeah.
17, and I was playing with Floyd, and now that to me is the penultimate, no disrespect.
Oh,
That's the penultimate musical experience I ever had was playing with him.
Yeah, that's Floyd. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
I do,
25 years.
I'm part of the local emergency planning committee for the county, and we went up to one of the buildings up at Allegheny, and I walked in there, and there's his picture, and I hadn't seen his picture in a long time, and it brought back a lot. He lived in Warren, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
right.
and he was. I'll tell you what, man. I just learned so
I
much.
think
from him.
it's a watercolor that
Was that a watercolor?
that Jim Froman's daughter Heather did that hangs in the music office. Yeah,
Oh,
there's-
well, this is in
Do you
one
have
of the
to go
dining
check
halls.
that out?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there is. It's a great picture.
Well, thank you very much. Are you guys ready to go do it?
Well,
I think so. Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
let's
do
go.
it.
Well, this first number that we're going to do here is called Sideline, and I wrote it. And it's kind of reflective of the way society kind of is right now, where sometimes you have a lot of individuals that are certainly providing helpful advice from the sideline, but when you get down to actually needing to do something, you find out that their actual job is apparently to just dispense advice from the sideline. So that being said, Sideline. I can't remember a single day you didn't push the world away. It's something we did or didn't do that just keeps on disappointing. That sideline you're on is sacred ground, where judgment dealt is always found. There you sit above the fray, the chief dispenser of the blame. Every step I take is wrong, lest I trace your feet upon the ground. Now that would be a sight to see, 'cause they dangle there from atrophy. That sideline you're on is sacred ground, where judgment found is always found. There you sit above the fray, the chief dispenser of the blame. Take it, boys. It's back to work for all but you. You've got to mind our P's and Q's. And when you're gone, the world must weigh what righteous jerk will take your place. That sideline you're on is sacred ground, where judgment dealt is always found. There you sit above the fray, the chief dispenser of the blame. There you sit above the fray,
This is a song I wrote about a fellow that lived in Conneaut Lake, and he ran a gas station. He was kind of a colorful figure. His name was Vergil Keene, and he ran that gas station for nearly 60 years. And when I found out he passed away, this song kind of jumped out and wrote itself down. And anyway, here it goes. It's called Gas Station. This is a fairly new song. The music's been around for a couple of years, but I finally put some words to, actually I put words to it before the last election. I think it's important to say that. When you hear it, you may be able to figure that out. The very first word in this song is a Latin name, and it's Calgacus, who was a Scottish chieftain that impressed the Romans enough that some historian gave him a name. But anyway, he's in here, and hopefully the reason for that will show up later on too. Anyway, it's called All the King's Horses.
Calgacus said, we'll all be dead. They bring a desolation and call it peace. They have set free the dogs of war, and we don't have to worry no more. Now it's time to do it all again, pretending that it is not the same. Yeah, well, they think we're stupid, rather be obsessed with Cupid, hoping we'll forget what's been said. Round this ball goes, nobody knows, we're just chasing a point of light through space. Many will say they know the right way, but their path all the king's horses and all of his men, putting things together again. They just don't know where the pieces all go, and it's all mixed up in the end. Still we try and we try again. Maybe get new horses or new men. The deck chairs are all in new places, same old words from new faces. Change is all that's the same in the end. Yeah, change is all that's the same in the end.
Okay, this is another fairly new song. This one's really new, actually, and it's not about any one person, sort of based on a collage of people that I've known off and on my whole life, not necessarily known very well, but they were all part of the World War II generation, and every day we lose more of them, and anyway, this kind of comes out of that. It's called 1,000-Yard Stare.
In the neighborhood across the back alley, never knew much about him. He'd be and let others be. See him out and I'd wave to him, sitting in his back porch chair. Sometimes he'd wave back to me, and sometimes he'd sit and stare. Day not long ago when I found out he had died, I realized how much I didn't know, and that I never had tried. Paper had a nice write-up, I found out things that I never knew. He had 2 Bronze Stars and a Purple Heart that he earned in World War II. Landed in France early one day in the late spring of '44. Was in a foxhole on Christmas Day, and he fought to the end of the war. World War II was fought with guns and guts. World War III might be lasers and drones. Maybe we won't need guys like that. By World War IV we'll need sticks and stones. We'll need sticks and stones. Have an idea what he'd see when he'd sit in his back porch chair. Not when he'd wave back to me, but when he'd sit and stare. Wasn't just sitting there passing the time of day. He was looking at something only he could see about 1,000 yards away. Old man living in the neighborhood across the back alley, never knew much about him. He'd be and let others be. I'd see him out and wave to him, sitting in his back porch chair. Sometimes he'd wave back to me, and sometimes he'd sit and stare. Have an idea what he'd see when he sat in his back porch chair. Not when he waved back to me, but when he'd sit and stare. He wasn't just sitting there passing the time of day. He was seeing something only he could see about 1,000 yards away. 1,000 yards away.
Well, this next one, and Greg Arlo there, he's been real good in our band about writing songs, and I wrote this song because our good friend Lisa asked us to be part of this, and I haven't written really in probably 35 years, and when I used to write it was on a deadline, so we needed to have this song. And This song is I'll Have to Be the Grown-Up Here, and it really kind of is a homage to what it's like to be loved in your early 20s and think that that's a forever thing. And again, love songs, the happy love songs, everybody hates those. Just the Captain and Tennille, love us, keep us together there and all that stuff. Everybody's just waiting for the inevitable divorce, when it happens. So these are generally a little bit more interesting when it doesn't end out quite right. And so toward that end, I'll have to be the grown-up here. The party rages on to the brink of dawn, and we never used to miss it. Or I guess you did, so now you say, as you turn to casually walk away. You say that you'll suffer through this too, while in the warm embrace of another. It's pointless to say it's not the same. As you cry, it's your fault and you're to blame. Hurt, forgive, then boundless joy. My sheltered girl, your faithful boy. You cannot help it, that is clear. I'll have to be the grown-up here. So many times I heard you say how lucky were I always stayed, how I stuck with you through thick and thin, your boundless love would never end. But times they change and so do you. Boundless love is just for fools. How could you risk on missing out on a better world? Though wrapped in doubt, hurt, forgive, and boundless joy. My sheltered girl, your faithful boy. You cannot help it, that is clear. I'll have to be the grown-up here. I'll have to be the grown-up here.
Here's another one of songs I wrote, and this one kind of seemed like it took forever. The music I came up with a couple of 3 years ago, and words just didn't come for it, and nothing jumped out until, I don't know, about 4 or 5 months ago. They finally got something that I thought I could work with, and my daughter, Sarah Adsit, who is she's an engineering major but a music minor at Penn State, helped me out with this, and so it's probably one of the most musically correct songs I've ever written. Anyway, it's called The Ride.
Something around the bend. Is there doubt about why and when, or just running from the end? It's a long way to ride. Is there hope to find a place to go? place to hide, or a place to spend the time. Stop on the way, let horses rest, get some sleep before the next contest. Are there lessons to be learned the hard way? Knowledge earned. It may be hard to see what's known, what is planted and what has grown, what's been reaped from what is sown, what is blood and what is bone. In the night, think what's done. Instead of moving on, are you running from? Is there pain in your memory? Put it behind, it'll set you free. It's a long way to ride. Is there hope, hope to find a place to go, or a place to hide, or a place to spend the time? Then the sun comes and shines again, with a new day to begin. With the coming of the dawn, the fog burns off, time to be gone. Saddle horses, drink coffee down, time to ride, get out of town. Sweaty hat sits like a crown, nothing in the way to knock down. Is today the day to find, to get to the end of the ride? A place to go, or a place to hide, or just a place to spend the time.
We're back again with NTR. That was a very nice set. We really enjoyed that. Where can people find you at?
Well, you can find us, probably the best place to find us is on Facebook, NTR. And the one thing that one of the things about our Facebook site, we are probably the biggest folk fusion band on the Indian subcontinent.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. I mean, we
fusion
get
band.
like
Folk fusion, that's different,
which-
yes.
the blended music that we just performed for you, we like to think of in that genre, so to speak. But the thing is that we put a Facebook site on, and we started getting all these hits from the Indian subcontinent, and we were able to discover that apparently there was an actor that goes by the initials NTR, and
Very
boy, that
popular.
must be, and
Yeah.
again, like that must be the Barrymore family of India,
Of India.
because they're like the third generation or second generation, and of course we'll take it, and we've just been getting ready to do our world tour of,
Absolutely,
of
yeah.
the
Starting in Delhi. And
Starting in
yeah,
Delhi.
It'll be all right. Yeah.
Well, it's,
They already got fan base, you know?
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a beneficial mistaken identity.
Yeah.
Okay, so they need to know it's not that.
It's
Yeah.
It's not that.
I'm sure he's a fine actor, but
Right.
we're good
Yeah,
at folk
yeah,
musicians. So there you go.
Yeah. If
You
you see
won't
a-
find us anywhere in Bollywood.
I was going to say, if you
Look
see
for the
some of your
faces,
local
right?
friend, look for these faces, because believe me, he doesn't want
Right.
that. So yeah, we're,
Probably not.
yeah, but
And we should mention there is a fourth face
that's
that you
right.
might see from time to time
Yeah.
as well. One of our other members couldn't be with us here tonight. Victor Susel, another guitar player that's again one of our members. But
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, he's unfortunately for us, fortunately for him, he's taking I think a cross country trip right
With
now
his daughter.
with his
Oh,
daughter, and
yeah.
so he's quite the traveler. And unfortunately, we just weren't able to get him tonight. But
And
he's with
al-
us in spirit.
He's also probably our second biggest contributor of original music.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
we're hoping that this next trip will unveil some new tunes from Chipman.
As it always does. As it always does.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
probably writing every
I'm sure.
I hope so.
All
I'm
every
sure he
step of the
probably
way,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Make sure that we
Appreciate it.
thank the people behind the scenes tonight.
We like to thank our manager and sound engineer for tonight, Lois Galbo.
All right.
God bless you for the wonderful sound that you
Thanks,
brought to
Lois.
us. Thank you.
I hope we'll see you out there again soon.
We hope to see you too.
Roger,
Peace, love, and music.
and we will see you out there.